expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona. This is Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thank you for your time. Thanks for tuning into the program today. Same-sex therapy. Some new revelations. Very interesting day if you happen to be a counselor like me. Same-sex therapy today on Hardcore. Would you call somebody to the radio programs on? This is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor at the Orthodox Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix, 115 Avenue, south of Hospital Road, in the heart of Maricopa County. On the website, hardcorechristianity.com, you can see all of our ministries that are available. We have 2 live services every week, Thursdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific time during the summer and Mountain Time during the winter. You can join us on our social media. Hardcore Christianity and Blessings are 2 groups we have on Facebook. You can sign up for another free seminar. Every month we have free seminars once a month, usually the last Friday of the month. You can sign up for that. You can hit the PayPal button and send us another donation to keep the radio program alive and well. You've been doing that for 16 years, and we certainly thank you for it. And you can check out Sister Karen on the homepage of the website. She'd be happy to list your home for you or find you a home if you're moving to the Phoenix area to be a part of the ministry. May God richly bless you. Same-sex therapy. At this moment, as I'm speaking to you, the state of California, the legislature in Sacramento, is currently processing a bill that is going to pass. It's going to outlaw same-sex therapies or conversion therapy or reparation therapy. What's happening in California is that the American Psychological Association does not want people going to get therapy to change from eliminating or reducing same-sex attractions. Okay, the problem is that people that have these same-sex attractions, many of them do not want them and they do not like them. They want to get rid of them. They want somebody to help them. Well, the APA in 2009 studied this issue and concluded that telling patients with unwanted sexual attraction that they can change could harm their mental health. In 2015, a guy named Barry Anton, who was the president of the APA, said that reparative therapies are aimed at fixing something that is not a mental illness, therefore does not require therapy. There is sufficient scientific evidence that they work, insufficient evidence, and that they have potential to harm the client. Well, the APA decided that these type of therapists were actually hurting people because same-sex attraction is not a mental illness and it is not a problem. Now, mind you, in the DSM-3, homosexuality years ago was listed as a mental illness. The APA does not want anybody going through same-sex therapy, and they lobbied the legislature in California to pass this new law. It's going to be coming out here in a few months, where this type of therapy is illegal in California. And of course, California comes up with so many things that are demonic and insane. It's literally hard to believe. But a new study has come out, and it's called The Effects of Therapy on Religious Men Who Have Unwanted Same-Sex Attractions. And this recent study came out in July of this year. The Linacre Quarterly published the results of this research study, and they found that sexual orientation change efforts, SOCE, S-O-C-E, that's what they call it, the change efforts from converting from same-sex attraction to opposite sex attraction, actually does work on many patients. They researched 125 males from the United States. Most of them were Christians, and most of them were at various stages of experiencing unwanted same-sex attraction. Some were sexually active and some were abstaining from sex. The results of it were very interesting. 89% of the respondents were Christians, and it broke down this way: 14% non-denominational, 5% Catholic, 28% Mormons, 10% Jewish, 55% attended religious services weekly. 54% of the participants were single, 46% were married. Yeah. Over 80% of the people in the survey had some degree of depression and were having suicidal thoughts at the beginning of therapy. Almost 70% self-reported some to much reduction in their same-sex attraction and their sexual behavior, and an increase in their opposite sex attraction and behavior. And the study found that the APA and their conclusions was only an opinion, and it was not based on sufficient research. The APA said that reducing same-sex attractions was unsafe and damaging to mental health. This study found the exact opposite. Over 2/3 of the participants noted that the therapy had been a positive experience in many different areas. One area was developing non-erotic relationships with same-sex individuals, like mentors, coworkers, peers, family members, and so on. They also reported a better understanding of the causes of the homosexuality and their emotional needs and issues. They also improved in meditation and spiritual activities. They also were successful in exploring linkages between childhood and family experiences, and this is important, and same-sex attraction or behavior. And they also learned to maintain appropriate boundaries in their life. They also reported improvements in self-esteem, social functioning, a lessening of suicidal thoughts, improvement in the areas of substance abuse, depression, and self-harm. Before the therapy, each person had an average of 3 of these issues for nearly 3 years. And this survey proved that same-sex therapy is not ineffective, it is not harmful, and it does conflict with the APA results and their findings that it was damaging. On the basis of the survey, according to their research, religious clients could be told that some degree of change is likely from same-sex conversion therapy, and positive changes will result from it, especially in the areas of suicide and substance abuse. A guy named George Carneal Jr., who wrote a book called From Queer to Christ, My Journey into the Light, agrees with the survey. He spent 25 years of living and identifying as a homosexual, but has been celibate for 10 years, and says same-sex attraction no longer controls him like it once did. Now notice he said like it once did. That's important information. What's actually going on here? Well, in the secular world, now homosexuality is considered perfectly normal. Everybody's fine with it. In America, we allow same-sex marriage. You bake cakes for homosexuals here in America. You cannot discriminate against homosexuals. And you cannot hate them. Well, if you're a born-again Christian or a spirit-filled Christian, of course you don't hate homosexuals. You don't hate any kind of a person for any reason. If you do, I hope you'll come to the Deliverance Center and we will work with you to repent of that. What's happening here is that good people want to help homosexuals who don't want to be homosexuals anymore. The problem is with these therapies, although you can experience improvement, you cannot be cured. And the reason you can't be cured is because homosexuality, transgenderism, lesbianism being gay, etc., is spiritual. It has a spiritual root that no one understands. Notice in that survey that I mentioned a little earlier, it helped the person get in touch with childhood and child rearing and family issues. Here's the issue. Unclean spirits are at the root of sexual dysfunction and sexual immorality. Sexual perversion demons usually enter a person's body during childhood, during periods of abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, satanic ritual abuse, beatings, rapes, molestations, and so on. Children pick up these spirits, usually, not in every case, but usually from the family tree. In other words, somewhere up the family tree, someone was heavily involved in sexual perversion. Grandparents, great-grandparents, somebody, somewhere. And these spirits came down the family tree and entered the child during a period of abuse or great emotional disappointment or abandonment. A spirit of rejection entered the child, who later let in a spirit of sexual perversion. So the person has these supernatural, unwanted sexual attractions for the same sex. These spirits also cause people to have adultery problems in heterosexuals. These same demons cause serial adultery and are at the root of hardcore sexual addiction and pornography. They're spread that way. These unclean spirits specialize in sexual perversion that the person doesn't want. The Christian does not want to be an adulterer. They don't want to be gay. They don't want to be a lesbian. They don't want these things. They have severe emotional pain as a result of it, and they can improve through therapy but cannot be cured. Deliverance is the only cure. If you were sexually abused as a child and you picked up one of these unclean spirits and you have same-sex attraction and you're a born-again Christian, you're eligible for free counseling services at the Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.